What's up, everybody? Terrell here, and I'm here to talk about. I'm sorry, I'm going to say Police Squad, the Naked Gun 2025 movie starring everybody's favorite dad, Liam Neeson. Just got out of a screening for the movie, and I so many things that to talk about with this movie. The cheap laughs, the good laughs that I enjoyed in a crowd, in a movie theater full of people. Got some genuinely good laughs in the movie. But obviously, I'm here to talk about this movie, how it compares to the last one. No spoilers, obviously. If you guys were under a rock and you've missed like every promotion that this movie has been getting, because the marketing budget is crazy for this movie. You've seen it being marketed in WWE, and various other things. And I say WWE because Cody Rhodes, they've already revealed, is in this movie, and he is absolutely ridiculous. Um, in the short amount of time that he is in this. Again, if you're not familiar with Naked Gun is originally starring Leslie Nielsen, who played the character of Frank Drebin, and now Leslie. Sorry about getting these names. Liam Neeson is playing Frank Drebin Jr., the son of the character. And of course, we have this movie is full of cameos, a lot of crew jokes, absolutely ridiculous. If you guys are not familiar, this movie is also directed by Akiva Schaffer, who is from one of my favorite groups, The Lonely Island. And Akiva has done so many other comedy movies, obviously starring Adam Sandberg, um, Palm Springs, Popstar, writer on that as well. But he is getting his directorial. I don't want to say debut, but he's directing this movie, so you already have an idea of like what you're going to be getting a little bit out of this movie. Um, Again, if you don't know what this movie, if you didn't know who was in this movie, stat cast. You of course, like I said, Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson. We got Walter Hauser, Danny Huston. We got CCH Pounder, Kevin Durand, who we all know he's been in a lot of stuff lately. He was Fred the Blob in X-Men. He was recently Proximus, Caesar, and the Planet of the Apes movie that just came out. He has been getting work, so he stands out. We got Liza Koshy, who's been definitely jetting off from TV to now doing comedy movies. Eddie Yu, like I said, I'm not going to spoil any of the other surprises in the or I'm not going to spoil any of the other guest surprises in the movie. But like I said, this cast is stacked, and you could tell by the number of people they have in this that it's going to be ridiculous. Right off the break, if you've seen any of the trailers, you've probably seen the trailer with Liam Neeson as a little girl as he stops a bank robbery. That's just the tip. That's not even the tip of the iceberg of how ridiculous this movie is. Um, I, I, I'm, I gotta say personally, I'm not a fan of toilet humor. You get a little bit of that here, but they do in such a ridiculous way that I actually had to chuckle in the movie. It was me and the guy next to me. You just some of the jokes, like I said, I feel like you got to be old enough to really get them, and obviously a lot of references to the original one as well. I think just really land here. Obviously, that's not going to be like jokes are not going to be funny to everybody. Somebody's going to be offended, and some of the stuff I feel like is just so lowbrow. Like you just like, okay, that was just too ridiculous. But I gotta say, Liam Neeson is doing comedy is just top tier. I don't even want to see like as throughout his career. I just need Liam Neeson to do comedy. The moment I saw him in that episode of Atlanta, I already kind of knew we were gonna get this from the jump. He's just really good. He has a really diverse filmography. I mean, we've seen him do action, we've seen him do drama. Now we're seeing him do action and comedy. He really just has a great dry comedic timing for this particular type of movie. But just the overall story, I mean, I think this movie I almost intentionally feels like a movie out of time, because of this particular like 80s and 90s style of comedy that they're trying to do, while also trying to fit that into like a modern, I guess, a modern world of how they used to do this. And I think they do a pretty good job of it, but like I said, it does feel a little bit outdated, like with them trying to keep that aesthetic to the movie. But not to say that that takes away anything. I think the movie is still pretty funny, but I just think maybe like them trying to keep that like 80s 90s aesthetic of a police station and a modern day world, which obviously the movie makes jokes about, does kind of like like ridiculously hurt it in a type of way. Obviously, Frank Drebin, in this movie, he doesn't like technology, so it's kind of like a back and forth of with this character kind of dealing with that and kind of adapt to the times. It's a lot of social commentary, like done in a funny way, of like the police, like modern day police, police not having to deal with consequences of their actions. I think this movie speaks a lot on, ironically, while trying to be funny. There's a scene in this movie that I don't want to spoil, that just really just took the cake for me, that which was absolutely hilarious. Police just police in these movies just do what they want, and Frank Drebin talks about that a lot. Like, okay, when did we have to start following the rules? They talk about body cams, they talking about procedure stuff that obviously in the context of this movie doesn't really matter, because you're watching the movie. Pamela Anderson does a really good job. But we've seen Pamela Anderson do comedy. I think seeing her in a more, I don't want to say mature role, but seeing an older Pamela Anderson play this role, I think kind of threw me off a little bit, because I'm always seeing her play like the young woman in every movie, or just kind of like the blonde bimbo, like, to kind of bring that back a little bit. But her romance with Frank Drebin, with Liam Neeson, works so well. I think they're just equally ridiculous in this movie, and she does a really good job. Like I said, I wasn't discrediting her at all. Like she definitely brought a lot of comedy that I was not expecting to get out of her. And it's such a ridiculous role, but she's used to kind of doing these movies before, so it's this is a walk in the park for her. But I think I said, just seeing a older version of her, where she's not running down the running down the beach with her breasts like flopping out, or whatever. Just seeing her play an older woman, I think, is what I'm trying to get at. Is what's kind of throwing me off, because like I said, I'm just so used to her playing that younger version, or consistently trying to play a younger version of herself. But like I said, I feel like the chemistry between them is really good. Just and the comedy between them is just absolutely gold. Some of the scenes in this movie are absolutely ridiculous. Like I said before, you cannot help but laugh. Some of the music that they choose to use is gold. Like, I don't even want to spoil it. It just sets the tone of so many different scenes. Getting to see Cody Rhodes do a little bit of acting. Nothing against you, Cody. I don't know. I feel like he was just more so just kind of playing, not playing himself or playing his character, his WWE character, but you'll notice in the movie, like they're intentionally like keeping him at an angle, because you don't want to see the American Nightmare tattoo, of course, which identifies him as the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. But his interaction with Liam Neeson is absolutely ridiculous and worth watching every scene of it. The movie clocks at about like an hour 20, hour 30. I don't think it overstayed its welcome. But the story, the actual villain himself was just kind of bland, kind of boring. But I guess you're trying to figure out something to, in contrast, to fit, the character of Frank Drebin, and what do? You find a tech villain, that goes against somebody that does everything old school. So I get that, but I just wish they would have done a little bit more. I wish we would have had more time. I wish we could have explored some of the other characters, which are some of those other characters are absolutely ridiculous. Frank's partner, just the overall characters of the precinct. Some of the stuff that they do is absolutely ridiculous. I think Akiva does a good job of catching the spirit of that original movie, while also kind of making it its own. But I also think by me personally, by doing that it also kind of sacrifices this movie's own identity. Maybe if this were to get like a sequel or something like that, it will kind of get into a groove. But it's hard to say what the potential of this movie will be just yet until we kind of get there. But overall, did I think this was like a theater? Like this was a movie in the theater? Like I laughed. I did like it, but I don't think this was worth the price of admission in the theater. I do think this was like a stream or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, I probably would have swallowed a bullet, but like this being a screening for me, you know, like it doesn't, the blow doesn't hurt as much. But like I said, I did like it. It was funny, but I don't think this is a theater movie personally. I think that you can wait and watch the movie. It is funny. It is worth the watch. And I do still say, if you do want to see it, invest your dollar, invest your money into, like, you know, buying it digitally or whatever. But rushing to the theater right now. But you know, it's summertime. You're out. If you ain't got nothing to do, I do recommend watching it. Liam Neeson is freaking hilarious. And I feel like he plays his I don't want to say his taken character to like a whole extreme, but it kind of feels like that. Like it just, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like some of the action comedy, like some of the stuff that he does is absolutely ridiculous. This is stuff that I did not ever think that I would see Liam Neeson do in a movie, because he's always so serious and everything. But like I said, that I thought the movie was funny. I just didn't think it's worth the price of admission in the theater. But I do think it's worth watching at home, in the comfort of your home. But I mean, again, if you want to, if you do want the reaction like I did, like in the theater with other people were laughing. They were having a good time. It was just some stuff that was absolutely ridiculous, that probably wouldn't fly. But the movie is good. It is funny. And I think Akiva did a good job, like I said, capturing the spirit. But I just wish he would have gave it its own original spin, because like I said before, it does feel like it's trying to imitate the original a little bit too much. But other than that, if you guys do wind up seeing it, let me know what you thought about the movie. I laughed from pretty much start to finish. I thought some stuff was ridiculous that I had to refrain from laughing. I was cackling a little too hard for the people next to me. But other than that, the movie's funny. Let me know. It comes out on August the 1st, Friday, August 1st. If you do wind up go seeing it, it's a lot in the theaters right now. But if you're just looking to chill back and watch a comedy, I do think this is, if you're already there, worth the watch. But like I said, this is a stream for me personally. But other than that, let me know what you guys thought about the movie if you do see it. It's been Terrell again with the review of the 2025 Naked Gun movie starring Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson. And I will catch you guys next time for another review. See you.